The next one is personification, giving human qualities to non-living things. The wind kissed my cheek, or something like that. Okay, so those are the ones that we're looking at. So, and it says that writers often use figurative language to produce a mood or feeling. So that's important to remember too for you as writers, is you don't just kind of throw a simile in there to throw it in there. You're trying to create something by using that simile. So as we read this poem, I'm going back to the RCC book. As we read this poem, think about how its figurative language helps you imagine familiar things and events in new ways. Also think about how the poem might be making you feel. Okay? Before I start, just one little caveat about, we've talked a lot about the difference between figurative and literal. The literal meaning is the actual meaning, okay? For example, when I said the wind, kissed my cheek, that it's figurative because it doesn't have any lips to kiss me with. So it's a figurative language. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. All right, so going on to the tree bats. I should never try to read the book. Okay, the tree bats, down at the bottom. Bats, that's kind of weird. I can't really see. The tree bat, I totally can't see this. Ah, got it. Okay, sway, that was the word I couldn't read. The tree bats sway like fruit with wings. There's your simile. From the branches of the tall old tree. Something of light through the day, till nightfall comes to set them free. The sun goes down, the sleepers stir to the gentle voice of Mother Night. Then the tree lets go, and its fluttering, the tree lets go its fluttering fruits, a dark windfall of sudden flight. I'm sorry, that was in such light handwriting I could barely read it. So what I want you to do today is, if you go to page 267, there's a matrix there, or a chart. Look at the directions where it says think. It says consider what you know about figurative language. Use the chart below to help you think about figurative language and the tree bats. So the first three are done for you. What I read, what kind of figurative language is it? And they've done the first one for you, which is a simile, and then you have to decide what it means, okay? So look at the example, the tree bats sway like fruit with wings, okay? What type of figurative language is that? A simile. It compares the bats with fruit. And what does it mean? The tree bats are hanging there kind of upside down, and they look like fruit. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces to fill in on the matrix. I'm going to ask you guys to do it in your book, and we'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it tomorrow together, right? And if you need any help with it, I'll be here for that class session, and then we'll go on to the other two. But it's important to fill in that matrix, even though I'm not asking you to hand it in on Google Classroom, because as we do this and as you fill it in, it's going to make your work easier at the end, okay? All right, so today you're going to do the read aloud. I think there's like 8 things on there. You're going to do the read aloud, and you're going to vote. You're going to watch this video, hopefully, on the RCC. There's another video that's from iReady, but it's like Sweet Tea doing reading. Then you'll do the RCC assignment. I have ReadWorks, that's for the whole week, okay? So I'm not going to assign a ReadWorks a day. It's just like classwork. My shoe. It's just like we usually do. It'll be like a homework assignment. Okay, and that'll be due Friday. Also, check out Epic. And for this week, I just want you to read 20 minutes a day. Try to commit to one book. I'll be able to see what you've logged into through and how long you're on there through the Epic, whatever. I'm not going to ask you to write anything about that this week. Probably next week I will. For writing, I'm just ramping it up a little bit. I'm going to ask you to do one entry per day. But what I noticed about your entries last week was you need to take a look at that 6-point rubric that I added to it, okay? Because I'm asking you to do a certain amount of work with content and then mechanics with capitals and punctuation. A lot of you guys forgot some of that stuff. And I'd like it to be 5 sentences. And you don't have to do that during your reading block, just like you don't have to do the Epic read aloud during your reading block, or even the ReadWorks during your reading block. You have to do it at some point throughout the day. Well, ReadWorks throughout the week, okay? Because you wouldn't be able to fit all this in an hour, and I realize that. What else? And then when you finish, you can go on. I have some new Quizlet words that talk about figurative language. So this week, the words are figurative language. I'd love to figure out how to play like Quizlet Live or something with you guys on Friday for people who are all done with their work. That would be really cool. I think that's everything. And then one other thing to think about is that we've always had choice in reading class, where we've been working with nonfiction texts. So if you do any research, if you do 10 points of research, like we've done for everything else, 10 points of research about a person or an event in the Revolutionary War, you can show me that somehow. You can share that with me. And then you can do a Kahoot from that. You could do a Google slide. You could do a Google site. We've done, some people are still working on historical fiction. Some people were doing their own readers' theaters based on those points of research. I think that's it. Okay. But if you could do your writing, if you could respond to me by like 3 o'clock, I don't care when you do it, but if you respond to me by 3 o'clock, that way I can look at it at the end of the day and respond to you. And that would just be another nice point of contact for us. So, okay. That's it for Monday. Wow.